In the United States, people often talk about strength as if it is something loud, flashy, and easy to see. We celebrate big victories, powerful speeches, and dramatic moments of courage. But the scariest level of mental and physical strength is quiet. It is the kind of strength that does not need applause. It is the kind that grows in silence, in routine, in discipline, and in the refusal to quit when no one is watching. This is the kind of strength associated with Miyamoto Musashi, a warrior who understood that true power is not just in the body, but in the mind that controls it. The scariest strength is not aggression. It is control. Anyone can lose their temper. Anyone can shout, threaten, or act tough for a moment. Real strength is the ability to remain calm when pressure rises. Imagine standing in a storm while everyone around you is panicking, and you are the one person breathing steadily, thinking clearly, and acting with purpose. That calm becomes intimidating because it signals mastery. Musashi believed that when the mind is settled, the body follows with precision. In modern American life, this translates to handling stress, competition, and fear without collapsing. It means walking into difficult situations with a steady heartbeat and a focused gaze. Mental strength begins with self-awareness. Most people run from discomfort. They distract themselves with noise, entertainment, and constant stimulation. The scariest level of strength requires turning inward and facing your weaknesses directly. Musashi trained not only his sword hand but his mind, observing his thoughts like an outsider. In today's world, that practice might look like sitting in silence, reflecting on mistakes, and refusing to blame others. It is the discipline to say, I am responsible for my improvement. That mindset is powerful because it removes excuses. A person who owns their flaws can reshape them. A person who always blames the world remains stuck. Physical strength at its highest level is not about appearance. It is about endurance and reliability. The strongest individual is not the one who can lift the most once, but the one who can show up every day and perform. Musashi trained relentlessly, repeating movements until they became part of his nature. In a modern context, this means building a body that supports your goals through consistent effort. It is waking up early to train when motivation is gone. It is finishing the final mile when your legs burn. That consistency becomes frightening to opponents because it suggests you cannot be easily broken. The fusion of mental and physical strength creates presence. Some people walk into a room and change the atmosphere without saying a word. That presence comes from confidence earned through struggle. Musashi's reputation was not built on talk but on countless hours of preparation. In American culture, where self-promotion is common, silent competence stands out. When someone knows they have prepared thoroughly, their posture changes. Their movements are economical. They do not rush or fidget. This quiet assurance unsettles others because it cannot be faked for long. Another terrifying aspect of true strength is patience. Weakness demands immediate results. Strength understands timing. Musashi wrote about waiting for the right moment to strike, conserving energy until action was unavoidable. In everyday life, patience means resisting impulsive decisions. It means investing years into a craft, a career, or a discipline without demanding instant reward. In a society obsessed with speed, patience looks almost supernatural. The person who can delay gratification, who can endure boredom and repetition, gains an advantage that compounds over time. Fear plays a central role in strength. Most people try to eliminate fear, but the scariest warriors learn to coexist with it. Musashi did not pretend danger was absent. He accepted it and moved anyway. Mental strength is not the absence of fear but the refusal to obey it. In modern challenges, fear appears as public speaking anxiety, career risk, social judgment, or failure. The strong individual feels the same fear as everyone else, yet acts with clarity. Observers sense that fear does not control this person, and that realization is unsettling. Discipline is the skeleton of strength. Motivation rises and falls, but discipline remains. Musashi's life was structured around training and study. He treated improvement as a daily obligation. In the United States, where freedom is prized, self-imposed discipline becomes a rare and powerful trait. Waking up at the same hour, practicing when tired, eating with intention, and guarding your time are acts of quiet rebellion against chaos. A disciplined person becomes predictable in the best way. Others know they will deliver. That reliability builds trust and respect, forming a reputation stronger than any single achievement. The scariest level of strength also includes emotional control. Rage, jealousy, and pride cloud judgment. Musashi emphasized clarity of mind, free from unnecessary emotion during conflict. In modern relationships and workplaces, emotional control prevents escalation. It allows negotiation instead of explosion. When someone refuses to be baited into drama, they hold power. Their energy is not wasted on petty battles. They conserve it for meaningful action. This restraint can feel intimidating because it denies others leverage. Adaptability is another pillar. Strength that cannot bend eventually breaks. Musashi studied multiple weapons and strategies, refusing to be trapped by one style. Today, adaptability means learning new skills, updating beliefs, and adjusting plans when reality changes. The mentally strong person does not cling to ego. They ask what works now and pivot without hesitation. In a fast-moving society, this flexibility becomes a survival trait. Those who adapt quietly outperform those who resist change out of pride. The deepest level of strength is independence of thought. Musashi walked his own path, often outside social norms. The scariest individuals are not easily swayed by trends or pressure. They listen, evaluate, and decide for themselves. In a culture saturated with opinions, independent thinkers stand apart. They are not rebellious for the sake of rebellion. They simply refuse to outsource their judgment. That autonomy makes them difficult to manipulate, which is why it feels threatening to systems that rely on conformity. Silence is an underrated weapon. Musashi valued observation over chatter. By speaking less, he gathered more information. In modern interactions, the quiet person often learns the most. They notice patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities while others broadcast their intentions. Silence also projects confidence. It suggests you do not need constant validation. In meetings, negotiations, or competitions, the one who can tolerate silence often controls the pace. Finally, the scariest strength is purpose. A person with a clear mission becomes hard to stop. Musashi dedicated his life to mastery. Every action fed into that goal. In contemporary America, distractions are endless. The individual who chooses a path and commits fully gains momentum others cannot match. Purpose filters decisions. It answers the question of what deserves your energy. When someone moves with that clarity, they appear unstoppable because their actions align with a larger direction. The legend of Miyamoto Musashi endures not because of violence, but because of discipline, awareness, and relentless refinement. The scariest level of mental and physical strength is not about dominating others. It is about dominating the chaos within yourself. It is the calm breath in pressure, the steady hand in fatigue, the clear mind in confusion. It is built day by day through habits so small they look insignificant until years pass and the results tower over the ordinary. In the end, this strength is accessible to anyone willing to endure discomfort and repetition. It asks for honesty, patience, and work. It promises no shortcuts. That is why it is rare. And rarity is what makes it powerful. When someone commits to that path, they become a force that does not rely on noise or spectacle. Their strength is felt rather than announced. Like Musashi, they move through the world with a quiet intensity that suggests they have already fought their hardest battles inside and won.